Hello everyone on my channel. I wish you a pleasant viewing. Richard Belzer, 5 Things About Law and Order. Star dead at 78. Richard Belzer was best known for playing Detective John Munch on both Homicide and Law and Order, SVU. Learn all about the late actor, here. Richard Belzer was a famous stand-up comedian who made his film debut in 1974's The Groove Tube. The actor played Detective John Munch on Homicide and Law and Order, SVU. He died at the age of 78 in his home in France. How did Belzer get his start? Richard J. Belzer was born on August 4, 1944. In Bridgeport, Connecticut, and quickly learned his comedic chops would help him out in life, especially with an abusive mom. She always had some rationale for hitting us, Belzer told People in 1993. My kitchen was the toughest room I ever worked. I had to make my mom laugh or I'd get my ass kicked. Before landing on his career of choice, Belzer tried his hand at a series of odd jobs, including census taker, dock worker, and jewelry salesman, according to The Hollywood Reporter. For a time, he also worked at the Bridgeport Post newspaper. His father's suicide prompted him to pursue comedy 3 years after his mom passed away from breast cancer. Belzer's father tried to die by suicide in 1967, but Belzer found him before it was too late, per THR. However, his dad ended up successful in his attempt a year later. Notably, Belzer's brother would end up jumping off his apartment building to his death in 2014 following his wife's passing. After the death of his father, Belzer decided to focus on his purpose and signed up for a comedy troupe in the East Village called Channel One. The group eventually made a sketch comedy movie called The Groove Tube, which was the film debut for Chevy Chase as well. We were very high when we wrote it, when we shot it, when we premiered it, and when we realized we'd made a movie, Belzer said in 2010 interview with the AV Club. It was truly underground in the sense that before it was a movie, we had a little theater and we showed Groove Tube on 3 monitors in a 90-seat theater. So for people to pay to see television, before cable, it was pretty innovative. Belzer was handpicked for his most famous role of Detective John Munch. Homicide executive producer Barry Levinson admitted that he heard Belzer on The Howard Stern Show and thought he'd be a perfect fit for Detective John Munch. We were looking at some other actors, and when I heard him, I said, "Why don't we find out about Richard Belzer?" Levinson said in a 2016 interview for The Interviews, An Oral History of Television. I like the rhythm of the way he talks. And that's how that happened. Belzer would end up playing the policeman on Homicide for all 7 seasons from 1993 to 1999. When Homicide was cancelled, I was in France with my wife and she said, "Let's open a bottle of champagne and toast. You did this character for 7 years," Belzer recounted in the 2009 book Law and Order, Special Victims Unit Unofficial Companion. And then I remembered that Benjamin Bratt was leaving LNO, and so I called my manager and said, "Call Dick Wolf. Maybe Munch can become Detective Lenny, Briscoe's partner," because we had teamed for the crossover. However, Wolf had a different show in mind for Belzer, a spin-off. When Law and Order, SVU debuted in September 1999, Munch had relocated from Baltimore to New York to join forces with Detective Olivia Benson, Mariska Hargitay, and Detective Elliot Stabler, Christopher Maloney. He stayed for 14 seasons. He played Munch on The X-Files, Arrested Development and more shows. Belzer was able to showcase Munch on a variety of programs. Munch appeared in X-Files in 1997 and was spotted on The Beat, Law and Order, Trial by Jury, The Wire, and even Arrested Development, 30 Rock and Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. I never asked anyone to be on their show. So it's doubly flattering to me to see me depicted in a script and that I'm so recognizable and lovable as the sarcastic detective and smartass, Belzer said in a 2008 interview. Much to my delight, because he is a great character for me to play, it's fun for me. So I'm not upset about typecast at all. Belzer was married 3 times. Belzer was married to Gail Susan Ross from 1966 to 1972 and Dahlia Danick from 1976 to 1978. Both marriages ended in divorce. In 1985, Belzer married actress Harley McBride, who was famous for her Playboy work and appearing in Young Lady Chatterley. The couple were together until his death, and he is survived by Harley's 2 daughters as well, Bree and Jessica. Linda was with you. Like, subscribe to the channel, write comments. See you soon.